Welcome back to another episode of The Curious Consumer. I'm Nate.
I'm Jenna.
And today we're going to start off with our first ever sponsor for the podcast, our friends at Glimpse.
So exciting. I think the first thing when we started talking to Glimpse, and we've been buddies with them for a little, for me, I knew they were a retail deduction management platform. And I knew those buzzwords. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? Basically, brands are often owed money by retailers in some way. And it kind of is just this really messy process where brands have to track down all of these deductions in order to get paid back and end up spending like so many hours doing so and losing money in the process. So this is where Glimpse comes in. Glimpse uses AI to just completely eliminate the manual headache of deduction management. So it turns what was this huge time suck into profit, and we love profit. So it makes it so much easier for brands, especially when you're like a brand that is emerging enough that you are in some of these like bigger retailers, but you don't yet have the resources to have people on your team that are tracking all this down. So brands like Kin Euphorics, Brahmi, Cure Hydration are already working with Glimpse, and they're winning back 2 to 3% of their top line revenue without adding headcount. So we're really excited because Glimpse is actually offering 30 days free for brands who want to try it for the first time and see what this looks like for them, plus a 12-month look back. So you can see over the past year where you could have saved money. Sounds a little scary, but also important data. And it's so easy to get started with them. It takes 15 minutes and you don't even need a credit card. You can just get started. So we'll have a link in our show notes. And yeah, we're so excited to work with Glimpse.
Yeah. And if you find them some other way, tell them we sent you.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but no, we love them. They're an amazing team. They are so savvy. They host awesome events and are just like a beloved company in CPG. So
Yeah.
Pretty cool to work with them. And
We're so excited.
That's our sponsor.
Amazing. Should we get into our first story from last week?
I would love to. It's a fun one.
I love this one. I think it's so funny. I got a text after we posted the newsletter from my friend Kate Ferguson. She is the founder of a plant food brand called Flourish, but she called me out of the blue like a year ago talking about branded fruits and how this is the next big thing. And she texted me this after we posted our story about Fruitist, which is a jumbo blueberry company that just raised $150 million. Mind you, this is blueberries.
Mm-hmm.
Blueberries. And it's sort of riding this wave of branded produce beyond just what you'd pick yourself.
Pick yourself, because we're all picking produce ourselves. They actually started in 2012. Now have a $1 billion valuation, by the way, because after that $150 million raise by JP Morgan and Ray Dalio's family office, their valuation was boosted to $1 billion, which is just nutty. Like, that is
nutty,
crazy. Because, they are mostly known as a jumbo blueberry company. And I am a blueberry fiend myself. I love them. So, like, this is unsurprising to me. But to the layperson who is not obsessed with blueberries, I think just, like, even the concept of thinking about fruit or produce as a brand or, like, as CPG is a little jarring, and it's weird to put a valuation behind like Mother Nature's gift to the earth. So we had to do some digging to understand what branded fruit and this company Fruitist like actually meant.
I've always sort of known that there's like IP around fruit and who owns seeds and all this stuff, but it's like it kind of goes a lot deeper, and a lot of the products you buy, even Kumato tomatoes, which were sort of making the rounds, that is a brand.
Yeah.
That is a specific varietal that is owned by this company Synergia. Sumo oranges, that is a brand. Cuties, even Cosmic Crisp, Pink Lady, those apples, those are brands. There's marketing and IP behind them. Chiquita bananas, like all of this. Driscoll's, the world's largest berry company, they have a brand. They own specific varietals. When you're buying produce in a grocery store, most likely you're not just buying some like random thing. This is that they're brands, just like Cheerios or Coca-Cola or Apple. Like the same things go into those brands that they do to these fruits,
Yeah,
which is
I'm laughing
wild.
at Apple because aptly
Okay,
named.
pun unintended, but intended.
Pun unintended. Apple, not the literal one, but also the literal one. Yeah, and that differentiation between varietal versus brand is actually pretty confusing because there is some crossover.
Hmm.
But something like cotton candy grapes, which I feel like blew up a few years ago, but that varietal is owned by a brand called Grape Brand. It took them 12 years to develop. So basically, these companies are specifically like crossbreeding and growing these special varietals. They have IP around them now, and they can turn, like, there's one thing for it to be like a gala apple is not a brand, that's just like a tree that grows those apples. But when they specifically develop these varietals and then put IP behind them and then package them in a certain way, especially, I think
Hmm.
that's where Fruitist gets a little bit more interesting and nuanced.
Yeah.
They are CPG. They are a
Right.
packaged good.
Right. And the Fruitus is just like crushing it. I mean, I think something that they've done really well is like very clearly brand it, um, and have their name much more front and center. And
Mm-hmm.
I'd be very curious to like go shopping with people to see if they're saying like, oh, I'm gonna go buy the Fruitist, the jumbo blueberries,
Yeah.
or if they're just like, I'm getting blueberries and just picking this one up.
Yeah, so I feel like there are a few pieces that go into why someone would choose this brand over something else. And it's the same logic that we use to choose any CPG brand over something else. So one is like the actual package. Does it look nice? And they do a great
Yeah.
job of that. Form factor. They introduced something called snack cups, which are snack sized versions of blueberries, which for me is actually just a pint. But
Right.
for
It's so easy to eat so many blueberries in one sitting,
I eat a pint in one sitting. But I
as you
guess
should. You
a
need the
snack cup
fiber, the
with the
antioxidants.
antioxidants. But I guess a snack cup is a more appropriate serving. So they introduced a form factor. They introduced like a perception around premiumization, I would say. Something that in a lot of articles I read about this, the CEO talks about what he calls berry roulette, which is when you go to pick up berries, there's oftentimes you get your little clamshell and you don't know what you're going to get. Like,
Right.
you're going to get someone that has a little bit of mold on it. You're going to get some that are a little too tart, whatever. There's just, you don't know. It's roulette. This brand is trying to guarantee a certain level of quality, which again, like, quality is one of the things that we look for just in any CPG product
Right.
that we choose over its
And
competitor.
consistency.
Quality, exactly. So these things are all being used by consumers to make decisions. It only makes sense to apply them to produce. And the other thing that we talked about a lot yesterday, just on a call with each other without actually
Right.
we didn't end up putting this in the newsletter. We just talked so much about this. Is that it's not just a brand, it's the first marketing platform for not Fruitist isn't the first marketing platform, but any packaged version of produce, as opposed to just like the random apple thrown in a bin, is now a marketing platform. It's like
Yeah.
advertising space that didn't exist before.
It's a lot more deliberate from like a consumer perception than the ones that came before, because there are plenty of other fruit and produce marketing platforms and companies and brands, but
Yes.
they became so genericized, where this is much more of like, I am buying the Fruitist because I know what I'm getting. It's a very specific thing, where it's this thing with the roulette comment too. It's like you go into a grocery store, you kind of just get the tomato that looks good, that's there. Like, recently over the past few years, there have been specific like there's this specific tomato. I can't remember the name right now, but it's like a specific like cherry tomato with a specific name.
Oh.
Cherry bombs. They're called cherry bombs.
Yes.
They're so
Yes.
good. And like that is specific, where I feel like a lot of produce and the way consumers buy them is not necessarily based off of brand. It's just like, oh, I'm just getting this like Gala apple, Honeycrisp. They don't associate it with anything more than just like the name of that type of apple. which I think Fruitist is doing very differently.
Yeah. And we as consumers, this is also what I mean by marketing platform. Like, you and I know that blueberries have antioxidants because I feel like this has just been like ingrained into my brain for years. And so when
Yeah.
they put on their packaging, like, and we have antioxidants, I'm like, yeah, every blueberry has antioxidants. However, other blueberry companies haven't had a platform to say that on pack. Like, there's something really different about, and brands that are really strong in retail versus strong like on D2C know this. You're not there standing next to your product being able to say all the things that are great about it. You have to rely on the packaging when you're at retail to explain the benefits. And while there are educated consumers who will go into a grocery store and know that they want blueberries for antioxidants, there are also people who are not educated on that and will look at a brand like Fruitist and be like, oh, this is the one that has antioxidants, simply because it has the branding to say it on pack, not because it has more antioxidants necessarily than other blueberries. So there's a lot of power in having a platform via brand that makes you successful in retail. And I think that's a huge piece of what these investors are betting on with Fruitist.
Right. And yeah, no, I think that's a great point. Like, a lot of other products were sort of just like, hey, this is just like this orange tastes better than this one or whatever it is. And now there's so much more depth to the product. And you're right, it's so much more aligned with the rest of the grocery store, really, where there's product call outs, ingredient call outs. It's a blueberry. The ingredient is blueberry. But the different call outs, the different levels to it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's really cool to see.
It's really cool. It is. Yeah. The other thing that we were talking about with this is that every article we read about this raise was crediting the GLP-1 medication usage as the reason that blueberries are doing well. And that, I'm sure, is part of it, but I know we both had some takes on that.
Yeah, like, sure, you can say that, and I'm sure GLP-1 will increase fruit spending or whatever, but it's also just like, you're saying that because GLP-1s are popular right now.
Right.
Like, there's other things that are making this happen.
Yeah, and we listed a few in the newsletter. One is that Americans are just snacking more than ever before instead of eating structured meals. Another is that consumers are looking for shorter ingredient lists. I can't think of a shorter one than just an ingredient. And the last is convenience culture, which we've been talking about forever. People want grab and go options, and a brand like Fruitist is offering that. But also, just the whole foods movement that has been in existence now for years and years. Maha, like, there are so many factors coming into play that would make people look to a fruit brand that have nothing to do with GLP-1 medication.
Right.
Even if there is absolutely a correlation. Causation,
sure,
not there for me.
Yeah. Like, all of these factors are coming into play here. They've been around since 2012 and have grown to over 400 million in annual revenue and the $1 billion valuation. There's other shit happening here.
Yeah, there tends to be. I do have jumbo blueberries in my fridge right now that are not Fruitist brand.
Oof. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Because this is on being an educated consumer, unfortunately. I was able to take a bet that other jumbo blueberries.
They also have antioxidants. Yeah, that's fair.
And they are.
That's fair. One last thing on this is that I'm very excited for the branded fridges.
Yes.
I think that's so cool.
So smart. So for context, in the same way that like Red Bull or Celsius sometimes have branded or Poppy have branded refrigerators to merchandise their beverages and retailers, Fruitist has branded refrigerators just for Fruitist produce, which also we should mention they've expanded beyond blueberries at this point.
Yeah. Raspberries, I think, is the other one I saw. Blackberries. I just hope, you know what they should do?
Yeah, so
this is how they're going to win. They need to figure out a way to make a blue raspberry real.
I actually love that take.
Because blue raspberry is not a real thing. Like, the fact that candy brands...
Come from?
I don't know. We'll have to do that research. But the fact that it's just, like, blatantly not a fruit is so funny to me. If they can make a sour blue raspberry berry, winners Fruitist, that's our ask. Make a blue raspberry real.
Happened here first. Nate gets credit.
I just want a case. I don't want any money. I just want to try that thing. I think that's gonna be great.
That is so brilliant. Actually, I think that might have been the smartest thing that's ever come in your mouth, and that's.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would pay for that in 2 seconds. But yeah, it was really fun to explore this side of CPG because again, I was like, I literally Googled is branded fruit CPG because I was like, is it?
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah, and it is.
And it is.
But we got plenty of other news. This past week, Cobb Foods, which is a sorghum-based popcorn replacement, so corn-free, they just announced that Novak Djokovic is joining as a co-founder of the brand and led their $5 million seed round.
Pretty huge.
Pretty huge.
And if you don't know him, he's a tennis legend, and it's crazy if you don't know him, but
he hits the balls.
He hits them well. He hits them really, really well. He also already does have his own brand called Scylla. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a performance brand. It's like supplements and hydration. And this is certainly a departure from that.
And not hydration. It does have salt.
It does have salts. It does have salts. And it is, however, in perhaps the only other category that is so saturated by celebrities other than supplements, which is randomly popcorn.
Yeah.
I don't know why there are so many celebrity popcorn.
It's sessionable, it's addictive, it's easy.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact about celebrity popcorn, Lesser Evil, which is one of the largest popcorn brands in the States, sold to Hershey's recently. Do you know that that's celebrity founded as well?
No.
Do you want to know who the two celebrity founders are of that brand?
I'm never going to guess. You got to give it to me.
It's Gene Hackman and Jim Cramer.
Wait, I didn't know I could love Lesser Evil more. Why aren't they blasting that?
Because it sold or something. Gene Hackman, who played Lex Luthor in Superman, and Jim Cramer, who is the crazy finance guy. I
have no idea. Well, on top of apparently Lesser Evil, there's also Rob's Backstage Popcorn, which was founded by the Jonas Brothers.
Joe Bros.
Love them.
Sorry.
Cloud Protein Popcorn by Khloe Kardashian.
Hell yeah.
And Boldly Grown Popcorn by Luke Bryan. So lots of celeb popcorn.
Wait, there's another one. Don't the D'Amelios have a popcorn?
Nothing would shock me at this point.
Fair. But celebrity popcorn and popcorn adjacent seems to be a big thing. So Cobb, as Nate mentioned, is, despite calling it popcorn, because that's the only way that we know how to call it. Popcorn adjacent.
Yes. This popcorn adjacent product is not corn. It's made out of sorghum, which is a 10,000-year-old grain that I am really excited about because it's actually a very sustainable crop. I don't think this went into his decision making. I think he is gluten-free and a health nut, famously, has gotten into some stuff for being a health nut, famously. So again, Novak is the perfect person for this, but beyond sorghum, so this product is puffed sorghum. That's what makes it like popcorn. Beyond sorghum being a healthier to some alternative to corn, sorghum is drought tolerant and heat resistant. So it just doesn't require much. Yeah. It doesn't require much water to grow. It's adaptable to changing climates. And I know all of this because of another brand that's been doing popped sorghum for a while now called Chasing Dreams Farm. They have
Sydney.
What they call sorghum puffs. Sydney is the founder. She is wonderful and so passionate about sorghum, and that's why I'm now preaching the gospel of sorghum. So I'm hoping that a rising tide here of sorghum puffs with a very famous tennis pro behind them will rise the ship of sorghum in other areas like Chasing Dreams. So
I love it. And I love that they have cacio e pepe, which is one of the best flavors.
They do have a cacio e pepe flavor. Cobb looks like a really awesome brand. And we should add, so Cobb was founded by a mom who was trying to think of healthier options for her kid. And she reached out to Novak. I'm like still trying to find out how there's got to be some connect there. And he apparently tried the product, and the second he tried the product was like, I want to be a co-founder. So
That's amazing.
shoot your
It's
shot,
great.
ladies and gentlemen.
Shoot your shot, founders. Come on. Next up, we have another like kind of celebrity adjacent story. Nara Smith. I called her in one of my TikToks the internet's favorite it girl. She's sort of leading this like trad wife movement, even though it's not explicit. But Nara Smith, very famous influencer, has like 20 million plus followers across all of her channels. She collaborated with Algae Cooking Club to launch a algae garlic oil, which
Yeah.
I do have. It's up behind me right now. It smells incredible. I've used it with some rice and a dish that I made. It's very good. And I think it's really a really good creator and talent collab. There's like a couple levels to it that make it so good. Algae Cooking Club, it's a new olive oil replacement brand using algae for cooking oil. And it's a new ingredient, it's a new type of product for consumers. And they've been doing well, they've raised some money, like they're in retail, but to reach a broader audience and get more people into the fold and understanding this product, it really helps to have someone like Nara Smith, who has a huge audience, who does cooking, who makes her own garlic oil. She has made this roasted garlic oil herself before. It gives such validation and exposure to this new product that would be very hard to get on their own.
Absolutely. And that's what got me so excited about it too. I mean, the product itself, as you said, is just a great product. It was also developed by a Michelin star chef, the 11 Madison Park chef. I know.
Oh.
I just discovered this too. So
that's cool.
It's a very culinary oil, which again fits Nara's content. Fits Nara's content really well. She is like a culinary queen and makes all of these really elaborate recipes that no one can possibly recreate very well at home. So this is a good option to not have to do it yourself. But yeah, I think especially something called algae oil. Algae is not like something you associate with the kitchen. If anything, algae is like maybe going to give you like a little bit of ick factor. And I think it requires so much education, as you said, that they kind of need a celeb and someone whose taste buds are already trusted to be the person that's promoting it, because it already fits her really well. Like, algae oil is a lot lower in saturated fat and has much lower omega-6s than other oils. So like for people who are nervous about inflammation tied to seed oil, like this is a good option for them. And obviously seed oils have been like a really contentious and loud topic lately.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that she would partner with them for that reason. And it also has a really, really high smoke point. So it's great for cooking. It has a higher smoke point than avocado oil. So it's great for cooking, which again makes it a really good fit for her. And then people might just want to go for it because of like those two attributes and might not realize that. And here comes my like sustainability spiel again. I like the earth. Crazy.
Wow.
But algae oil is so good for the environment. It is like the most sustainable oil that you can choose. It actually emits half the amount of carbon as other plant-based oils, and it uses like almost no land or water to make. So it's a great sustainable option. And what I love about this is Nara is going to be promoting it for like these other reasons. People will buy it for those other reasons, and then they'll accidentally do something really good for the planet. Yay!
The best, that is the best way to do it, because most people being explicitly environmentally friendly is arguably a little bit hard, and like
so hard. Yeah.
It's been muddied so much with so many products that have made big claims. The product's not been that good, whatever it is. So like it kind of has to be just either like just like a basic attribute of the product that's sort of secondary, but it's like it's table stakes at this point too. I think when you're launching a new product, it's good to be sustainable. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited to use it some more because it's damn good.
I haven't actually cracked mine open yet. Oh, other thing that I feel like is worth mentioning, just like there's so many thoughtful touches on this. The
Yeah.
actual hardware of the olive oil, so like the spout, is
Yeah.
gold, which usually that is silver because Nara only wears gold jewelry. Like,
Yeah.
it's little things like that in a
No.
collaboration that make it feel so authentic and thoughtful.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that like algae doesn't use glass in any of their products, but Nara was like, I want glass. It's more premium, whatever it is. And they're like, okay, we'll do it. Like it's a very earnest collaboration, which I think
Yes.
is so cool to see. Next up, we got a merging of two very big trends right now. The gummification of all of these products. That's a crazy word. Gummies and fiber together.
Gamification is a crazy word, but accurate.
I don't think I should be saying that word, honestly. It sounds bad. But Belly Welly, a fiber company, a trendy and pink and cute fiber company, just launched a daily fiber gummy.
And it has more than just fiber in it. Kind of like its other products, it also has probiotics and collagen. So it's one of these like multi-supplement gummies, but the focus is still on fiber. And yeah, as you said, like everything is a gummy right now.
Mm-hmm. Groons has been crushing it. Bloom has their gummies now. Moon Brew, which is like a magnesium supplement, they're launching a gummy. Lemmy obviously is like mostly gummies, except they're lollipops. People want
Plant
convenience.
people.
People want plant people. They just launched in Target. They have a ton of different gummy SKUs. People want convenience. People want a little sweet treat. And I think the gummy format is nice. I think people are over powdered. And no, I think there's a lot of people who just don't want powders. They don't want to drink everything. They don't want to mix. They just want like pop it in. That's it.
I think beyond the convenience of it, because you could argue then why is it not just a pill? It's fun.
Yeah, a pill is not fun. Also, I've learned that there are adults who can't swallow pills properly.
Grow up.
Mm-hmm. I know.
To be fair, it does
it's sad.
suck. It does suck to swallow.
Sure.
But gummies
like,
are so fun. And
gummies are so much fun.
Like in my routine, how I kind of think of it is when everything else is like better for you and I'm trying not to have sweets as much, I'm almost like my supplement gummy has become like my like little sweet treat.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I still have dessert, but like it's my breakfast dessert.
100%. So. That's why I like Groons so much in the morning. They're fun. They're easy. It feels like candy in the morning, which I'm a big fan of. Big fan of candy.
In the morning. Socially acceptable candy in the morning is what.
Socially acceptable candy. So good. I love that. It's a good name for a brand.
You're right.
Socially acceptable candy is kind of baller.
Yeah, keep that. Keep that.
Yeah, we'll keep that. Anybody who's listening, that's mine. I call fives on that.
You don't call blue raspberry, but you do.
Yeah, exactly.
You do call that.
Another functional brand that I kind of want to talk about that I think is really interesting, Recess. They just raised a $30 million Series B funding round led by Kavu Ventures, Midnight Ventures, Torch Capital, shout out Grace, Doler Ventures, and a bunch of others. And I feel like this is one of those brands that was really early to this, and honestly kind of established this wave of functional and aesthetically pleasing products. So Recess is a functional beverage brand. Currently, they have a mood line, which is their like most successful line right now. They have an alcohol alternative mocktail line, and they have some powders. But they launched in 2018 with CBD infused waters, which in 2018, 2019 was the big thing. CBD was freaking everywhere, man. But they also like launched with this very pastel and moody modern branding that really like kicked off a whole wave of that aesthetic. Like very quickly brands started to honestly copy what Recess was doing. Recess was really one of the first, and they've basically maintained that branding since 2018. Like, and it's
Mhm.
hasn't looked out of place, really.
No, which is really impressive.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
I've got to be honest. I was looking at this brand pessimistically. I did not think that they would make it. And so when I saw this headline, I was a little bit surprised, admittedly, because I felt like they were on the adaptogen train almost. I mean, not. I don't even want to say too early. I feel like they just. I think
Too
in
long?
general, adaptogens. Yeah, too long. Like
Yeah.
adaptogens as like the main call out has kind of been phased out. I not to say that people aren't looking for functional beverages, because let's just look at the entire modern soda category. Like
I
clearly,
literally have a creatine beverage right here.
there you go. So clearly, functional is still of interest, but I think there were a lot of adaptogen beverage brands that have kind of died out, and I just assumed this would be clumped in with the rest of those. And it seems that it has clawed its way out. It's
Yeah,
worth noting that Kavu also invested in Poppy. So like they in general are like
they know.
really betting big on this soda category, but also I would assume are not really pitting Recess as a competitor against Poppy. So it's
Complementary. They're complementary products.
exactly.
It, it
Yeah.
it it broadens that space of like functional and new beverages that can replace the traditional sugar laden ones that have been in the market forever.
hmm And there's just a lot more like ready to drink mocktail or like non-alc brands. And I think this kind of shift in positioning to more of a mocktail as opposed to just
Hmm.
like it's, yeah, more about what it doesn't have than what it does. So it's not as much about like, we have adaptogens, it's more like we don't have alcohol. And that
Yeah.
positioning seems to be doing better right now, although I would say that ebbs and flows.
Yeah, they brought in their scope, which I think was really good. Like the CBD thing was it was big and then it very much wasn't because I don't think many people felt any real benefits or anything from it, and I think it was for a very small audience overall. I also think with Recess, like they were in the limelight sort of when they launched those first few years. They've raised some money. They, expanded their product line. And then with like all of these other products coming in, these fast followers looking the same, sounding the same, it kind of muddled Recess's voice a little bit, where I don't think people were
Mhm.
as aware of it. It wasn't in the discussion, at least from an industry lens. And it kind of allowed them to like operate a little bit in the shadows and work their magic and just maintain themselves and sustain themselves and not really fall into too many trends. Like they
Mhm.
launched on a trend, but they've sort of maintained into like what consumers are actually buying and actually wanting. Um, and I think that's why they've just raised $30 million and are still around. But I think they've done a very good job at just being a sustainable business too.
Yeah, I love that point of like you can launch on a trend, ride the wave of a trend, and still be a sustainable business by thoughtfully pivoting when you need to. And it seems like
Exactly.
that's what they've done.
Yeah. And now they're in 15,000 stores nationwide. And I bet they'll be acquired within the next year or two.
It's pretty impressive. Yeah, I know there was another raise that you wanted to talk about that I admittedly know less about and am kind of
I'm
pleased
so
to know less
excited.
about. So, yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm educating people about this man because there are some things about it that are kind of shocking. So Bryan
Literally
Johnson,
shocking.
literally shocking, and we'll get to that point. So Bryan Johnson, he is well known for trying to live longer and
Forever.
reduce his biological age. He was a
Yep.
tech entrepreneur. He sold for hundreds of millions, and now he's spending about $2 million a year on this longevity protocol called Blueprint to live longer. So this includes penis shock therapy, red light therapy. I'm just gonna skip over that. Um, infusing himself with the blood of his child, billionaire
Yeah.
stuff, and consuming over 111 pills daily. And
Why
he
no
has
gummies,
become
huh? Where are the gummies?
Because he's an adult and he can swallow pills, you know?
Adult feels generous here. I don't
Well,
think
he's trying not to be an adult.
Adult is a derogatory term for him.
That is hilarious. So he's been doing this for years now. Really kicked off around the time of the pandemic is like really when he started to become well known. There's a Netflix documentary about him. So his protocol is called Blueprint. He started selling CPG products around the Blueprint protocol and made a brand about it. So hydration powder, protein powder, olive oil for olive oil shots and stuff like that, and then pills and whatnot. And he just raised $60 million from countless notable investors and just influential people like Kim Kardashian, Stephen Barnett, who also just raised money for his podcast network, Paris Hilton, Navel, I don't know, some guy on Twitter that everybody knows that I don't apparently know. But he raised $60 million for Blueprint, which includes the CPG line of products, and then also just like, I think there's going to be probably some tech and other stuff involved in the longevity protocol that he's now making available for more people. It's just, this man is wild, and I think, like, I'm looking at my desk right now. I have an empty bag of Skittles, which I think would kill him.
He would go into anaphylactic shock at the thought.
I think he would go into shock if he ate this thing. So I think it's really interesting. I think it's funny because it's even like pre-Maha movement and this sort of health and wellness movement that we're experiencing right now. It's riding the wave. So I'm very curious to see where this brand goes. I think we'll start seeing it in retail. We'll start seeing it in a lot more places. I mean, this man's also an influencer in his own right. He's got tons of followers, and people want to know what he's doing to live longer. I'll hold some of my opinions, but it is fascinating.
Yeah, I have so many thoughts on this.
I know you do.
Well, first
as
of all,
you should.
The blood of his children is not in these products. Disclaimer.
No. It's in him.
Second of all, I want to like headline this like betting on suckers. Like, this is a $60 million raise that puts everyone's money into a big pot that's labeled people are suckers. And it's gonna work because people are suckers. That's my second thought. My third thought is I just think there's something actually really interesting, and we're gonna see more of this, of typically, I guess, these wellness influencers, but just anyone. I want to say, like, we always put ifying after something, like gamification or whatever, but in this case, it's routinifying. So it's not just like a product, it's like, this is my exact routine, and calling it Blueprint is not hiding anything. Like, he's trying to make it like, this isn't a product, this is like a guide for a way to live. And I think we're going to start to see a lot more influencers or just like well-known individuals routinify products. So they'll like come out with these product lines that are not just a product, but are like a physical representation of their daily routine. And we're like, oh, if I take all of these, then I'll be them.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you want to continue to be known and you want to continue to influence, you got to get into someone's routine. To get into someone's routine that is the ultimate influence. It, like, more than just somebody liking and reposting your stuff, and more than just buying your product, it's incorporating it into your life, into your daily life, is a crazy thing. And that is the ultimate level of influence you can get if you're creating a product as an influencer or a creator. So, and
it preys on the fact that we're all just looking for someone to tell us what to do. As we wait for the universe to tell us what to do, and we don't get those messages, we look to brands to tell us what to do and to give us the blueprint to life. And this is a really good way to prey on that. Yeah.
Snaps for that, Jenna.
We can just end there, honestly.
I think that's a beautiful place to end. We want to thank our very first sponsor, Glimpse, for supporting us, for supporting this podcast, for supporting brands across the industry. So please go check out Glimpse. Get your 30-day free trial of Glimpse. Link in our show notes. And be sure you're subscribed to our newsletter, first and foremost, so you can get weekly up-to-date stories and analysis on CPG and consumer brand world. Follow this podcast, The Curious Consumer, wherever you find podcasts. Like, subscribe, all the normal stuff you're supposed to do with podcasts. And you can follow us on Instagram, too, at Express Checkout, where we're posting more or less daily at this point.
And where we just hit a milestone.
Oh yeah, we broke 10,000 followers on Instagram. It's crazy.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Donate.
It's so fun. So many eyeballs. It's scary.
Scary and exciting and yay.
And yay. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Jenna, for yapping with me.
Thank you for yapping.
Of course. And we'll catch y'all on the next one.
Next.
Bye.
Woo. Bye.
Woo.